This is me. While celebrating my 8th birthday with my friends, I could only think and dream about one thing: becoming a texture artist. I couldn't wait to work in the industry, to unwrap massive UVs and paint. Okay, let me stop right there. That's not me. That's just a random kid with black hair that I found on this stock footage website. Yeah, I know, I paid money just to make this joke. And that whole inspirational voiceover story was also bullshit. Being honest with you, until 6 years ago, I didn't even know what a texture artist was. Today's video will be a bit different from the past weeks. I just want to share with you a bit of my personal journey until I became a texture artist. If you want to eventually work in this industry, it's okay to have a career path that is not linear. In fact, I've met people that started out with unrelated backgrounds and they still managed to craft a very successful career. I was raised in a very small town in Brazil called Almenara, and when I was 15, I remember scripting and recording a movie. It was a short film, a Western short film that I made with my friends. And after we finished that, I remember convincing myself that my main dream in life was to become a film director. That's all that I wanted. And I would do everything that I could just to fulfill that dream. My interest in filmmaking really pushed me to try new things and experiment a lot. Things that I never thought I'd be able to learn. But when I left college and I finally had a chance to have a taste of what it would be like to be a real director, I realized that I didn't want that at all. I learned a lot, but I just didn't want anything to do with it. Even though I felt like someone had crushed my life dreams right in front of me, that didn't stop me from trying and learn new things. I remember that at that time, I developed a particular interest in motion graphics. So I decided to explore that a little bit. After some time studying motion graphics, I found Cinema 4D, which is a 3D software that was being used by a lot of motion graphic artists to create animations and stuff. So when I picked that software to improve my MoGraph skills, I realized that the 3D universe was much bigger than just rendered spheres on a white backdrop. So a couple of years later, I was lucky enough that I had the chance to come to Canada to study 3D, but I had to start everything from scratch. And that was really scary. I was 23 years old at the time. I moved to this new country. I could barely speak their language. I didn't have any previous experience, and I only had 1 year to learn 3D. I remember thinking that I was never going to make it, that after school, I would just go back to Brazil. But then within my first months in school, while I was working on my first semester final project, I noticed that all those years that I spent gathering new skills were finally paying off. Even though some of those skills were not directly related to 3D, by constantly learning hard things, we just become better at learning new things. With my background in filmmaking and motion graphics, I could easily transfer some of that knowledge into what I was studying. So with that in mind, I put a lot of effort into learning as many new things as I could. But don't get me wrong, it was still hard as fuck. When I finally had to decide a specialty to choose, texturing and rendering was a clear choice to me because it just embodied all the things that I really enjoyed: cinematic, photorealism, lighting, storytelling, digital painting, all these things that I spent years experimenting and trying. Now I could put it all together into something completely different, but kind of related in a way, right? And I could do all that without being on a movie set anymore. And here I am 6 years later with 5 years of experience in the industry, and I still really enjoy what I do. But hey, now I'm also really interested in games, so who knows, maybe I'll change careers again, and you know what? That's okay. I'm sure that some of the skills I gathered in VFX can be easily transferred into games, and I probably gotta have to learn a bunch of new things. And that's fine, that's okay. Don't let your childhood dreams block you from trying and experimenting new things. In this video, you saw that even though I was super passionate about directing when I was growing up, that didn't stop me from trying until I found something that resonated with me. I know that in my example, the skills that I've learned throughout my life were very similar to what I do today because they were related to movies and stuff. But I've seen many successful artists that they had backgrounds that were completely unrelated to CG, and they still managed to build a very successful career. Use your passion to drive you toward things that are really meaningful to you. And remember that it's okay to have a career that it's non-linear. As long as we are learning rare and valuable skills, we're not wasting time. With experience, I really think these skills are going to help shape the unique artist within ourselves. I'm gonna cry. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I had a lot of fun making it. Also, I want to hear more about you, how learning different skills helped you to shape the artist that you are today. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.